you're all very welcome to Rising Tides, which is a momentous day for FairPlé. Yay!
I think the best thing a society can do, and look at, we're musicians, but we're also part of a larger society here. I've always loved history, but I don't think there's ever been a perfect society. There's never been utopia. The best of societies look at themselves consistently and ask questions and aren't afraid of the answers. And I think if you start from that perspective in a society, you've some chance of actually progressing. So I think our biggest problem still as a society is the warrior versus the princess mentality. And that's it in its most obvious way. Whereas, our boys are still raised to be warriors and our girls are slightly encouraged to be princess-like. And I think the hardest thing for an emerging musician, a younger person, when they do this it's something that I learned an awful long time ago, which was to not think about the other musician in the audience, to think about the non-musician, to think about the man or woman who knows nothing. What do they need? Because what they need is entirely different to what a musician sitting in an audience needs, and who pays in.
I suppose being in a band with another founding member of FairPlé, it all came at a time for me anyway that I just started to notice, and because I won the gender lottery, I never thought of it. I never really looked around in the music business, say, to see was it a problem, and then as the conversations, it just became more and more obvious as the conversation went on. And in terms of the emerging artist's advice, I think if anybody says that they know the formula, then they're talking shite, to be honest. I think it's going to take a bit of a shift in our thinking about what's good and what's not. I think we need to champion a bit more stuff that's maybe left of centre, or that's kind of encouraging a bit more creativity. To go back, we touched on the radio thing, but if it was being championed a bit more just in society, that there's more options than just the hard and fast 4 on the floor, that I think it would go a lot further, and I think it would encourage a lot more young people to kind of get in and just play the music that they want to play.
So we ended up meeting every major record label in the UK. Yeah, we sat with them all. No women in any of those meetings, which obviously when I signed up to do FairPlé, I just started thinking of our last year, and I started thinking of the amount of women that I've met in the music industry over the last year, and I think I can probably count them on one hand. And and it's sort of this kind of male, sort of self-aggrandizing industry, and I totally see that for sure. You're fighting all the time. I remember reading a thing once about music management, and someone said that in music management every win is theirs and every loss is ours. So we'll take the losses and they can have the wins, and you just have to, be okay with that.
The bad news, I suppose, is that audiences are aging. We need to do some more work with radio and television, and just to give you a really horrendous statistic is that the average age of listeners to Radio 1 is 60. Right? Now that's only going one way. The challenge is to be very creative about creating an audience, and you can have a kind of a bit of an illusory effect in traditional and folk music because it is both a profession and an occupation. It's a very difficult world to make your way in, and clearly the women issue is there seems to be some kind of learned invisibility in there, is what I'm trying to say about that. hang on to your creativity. Don't let anybody mess with that.
I don't see an idir yalu or a distinction between people who are making a living and people who aren't making a living, or maybe playing the odd session but they have a proper job. We're all in this together in various shapes and forms, and you might play for money for some part of your life and not for another part of your life, but there are a lot of pains and issues that affect us all as musicians. Being front and centre, women, if you're front and centre in the photographs, doesn't necessarily mean you're front and centre musically or in terms of equality. And I think a lot of people have said to me, I don't know why you're involved in FairPlé. Sure, you used to swan out there, everyone was looking at you. That's not always a great thing. I didn't always want them to be looking at me. There is no maternity leave, for the likes of us. And the gigs are booked and you just have to do them. And I kind of thought that I was going to show everyone that you can have it all and you can do it all. And so I just doggedly continued to try and be a mom and tour with this very busy band. You need to tell everyone how hard it is. It's not easy. You can't really have it all. You got it, like something's gonna give.
It's still hard to voice what you want and to say, I'm uncomfortable in this situation. Actually, that's not okay. I spend a lot of time online. There's less of a filter. There's so many keyboard warriors out there who sit at home and they will just the utter bile that comes out online. And I've seen it every single Facebook page I've managed, every single email inbox that I have been in charge of. You'll see this stuff coming in. So what I would say to young people is, and all generation, that we need to call people up on that, and you don't have to say, shut the fuck up, you can say, actually, that's not the way we should talk to people, online and in person. You might say, how did that person get on the radio? How did they get that front of Rolling Stone or whatever it is? A lot of the time, it's on the back of a lot of work that they have put in. Nobody, really rarely, especially in folk and trad music, becomes an overnight success. If you become an overnight success, you get landed with a harsh reality that it's not all that it's cracked up to be. If you want to be famous, you just get out now because you're in the wrong industry. But what I would say is be kind and listen to the other people in your group. Be true to your own voice and don't be quick to disparage someone else